Welcome everyone, World of Lapar here, bringing you guys the third tutorial of my channel. Today I'll be talking about everything involving text. I will begin with the subtitles of the text, which means the legacy text, adding of the text, the size of the text, colors and the outlining. Then I'll go over to the titles and the text, the credit roll, the text effects such as the bump map and the color corrections. To start off with the subtitles, if you open media generators, you'll see the next window. On the left side you'll see a couple of tabs. If you click on the last one, which says legacy text, you'll see this window. In this window you see the default text, solid background, transparent text, and it goes on and it goes on. The one we will be using is soft shadow. Soft shadow is the default text with a soft shadow outline around the text. This means that you only see the text, so there's no background, the background is transparent, but the text itself has a soft black outline around it. Well, let's say we take this one and we'll go into the properties. Well, you get this window. You see a lot of things, a lot of colors. Basically what you can do here is you can change the color. So let's say we'll move this one around. You can see I can make it green, I can make it blue, I can make it red, I can make it whatever color I want. I can also make the color, make the text itself more transparent. So you can see if I move this one up or down, the text becomes more transparent. Sometimes this looks nice, sometimes it doesn't. It really depends on the situation. But that's the colors. It's pretty simple, speaks for itself. So if we go in the left, in the lower part of the window, you'll see text properties, tracking, scaling and leading. To begin with tracking, what tracking basically does is it removes the letters from each other, or it brings them closer to each other. So let's say I move this up, means the letters will go further and further from each other. Let's say I move it down, the letters get closer and closer to each other. What the scaling does is basically what it says. It either makes the text bigger or it makes it smaller, but we won't use the scaling. So if you guys think about using the scaling for increasing or decreasing the size of the text, forget it. We won't be using that one. So alright, moving on to leading. What leading is it removes two parts of text from each other. So let's say well, as the example says, sample text. It removes sample and text, so the two parts of the sentence from each other. So as you can see, if I move this up, sample and text will be removed from each other, and if I move it down, sample and text will get closer to each other. It's not that hard to use. It's pretty easy actually. But yeah, you have to figure it out, you have to play with it, you have to see how it works. So you have to just use it, basically. Well, moving on to the effects. If we go into the effects tab, you'll see this window. You see a little box with outline, a box with shadow, and a box with deformation. Deformation will not be used. Well, you can use it, but I won't use it. I won't ever use it. I won't touch it actually. The ones we will be focusing on is shadow and outline. Shadow really depends on the color of your text. Let's say I'll make my text white. I will probably make my shadow black, because a white text with a white shadow just doesn't match. I think it's pretty ugly, I think it's pretty stupid too, So yeah, let's say I'll make my text black. I'll probably make my shadow white. I don't like using a lot of colors like blue or green or I don't know in my shadows, because it simply doesn't look nice in my eyes. So yeah, so if you use white text, which you usually use, make sure this the color is set on black. The default setting is on black, so you usually do not have to touch it, but make sure anyway. And the point of this is, let's say you have a very white background. If your text is white and your shadow is white, you will not see your text. So to help you with it, you got to make it visible. If you outline it with a shadow, it becomes more visible. Not only becomes more visible, it just looks better. It looks nice, it looks 10 times better, 10 times professional. So yeah, do you want to be 10 times more professional or 10 times less professional? It's a pretty easy choice actually. And in the same example, let's say you have a very white background and you only add a shadow, you'll still not really see your text. You can see it, sure, but you have to, well, make your eyes all little and difficult, and you have to put this face on you don't really want to put on. You just want to watch the video and, well, smile, I guess. So the default setting for the outline is always off. The box isn't crossed in and the color is set on yellow. It always looks like this, and you always have to change it if you want to use it. So first of all, you click on the box and then you change the outlining color. And the same thing applies here. White text, black outlining, black text, white outlining. Do not put the feather too high. What the feather does is it makes it either visible or not visible. It's usually set on 100 and I usually set it on between 250 and 300. I think that looks the best. But let's say it's an all white background, I usually set it something lower so you can see the text better. How lower the feather is, how better the outlining comes out. How higher the feather is, how less the outlining comes out. That was not a correctly put together sentence, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll just move on. Well, now we'll go into the edit text. Well, if you're making a subtitle and not a heading or a title text, just a subtitle, you'll first want to, well, lower the size of the text. And remember, the font you use has a big effect on the size of your text, because if I use Arial 12 and I use, I don't know, Hightower text 12, Arial will be bigger and Hightower text will be smaller. So just assuming 12 is small isn't enough. I usually use Trojan Pro 3. Yes, Trojan Pro 3 at size 15. So I will show you how I do it. I use Trojan Pro 3, size 15. I remove bold. Always remove bold. It looks like shit. Really? Really? It really looks like shit. But okay, that's my opinion. I hate it. I really hate it. I do. But yeah. If you have your text size, you go into placement because it's still in the middle of the fucking screen. So you change the Y. I set it, I think, around 900. Yeah, this is the setting I use. You can see here the pretty red thing is the middle of the screen. If you put it outside the red square, it doesn't mean you won't see it anymore. So don't be fooled by it. But you really need to use one placement. So don't go using 800 there and 900 there and 500 here. Use the same one every time, unless you're putting in two sentences below each other, because if I do that, then I will have to change the placement of the Y. Don't touch the X, just change the Y. Well, that's it for the subtitles. Now I'll go into the effects. I'll go over this pretty quick because, well, we're already at 14 minutes. I didn't realize it myself. The ones I use for the effects are bump map, and I usually use upper right glow. Yeah, upper right glow, because this gives your text a sort of metallic view, if you get what I'm coming from. Metallic view. I like that a lot. Lately I've been using this one. This is one I've created myself. You can always see it in my thumbnails. This is the one I use in my thumbnails. I like it a lot. I will yeah, I will show it. I'll show it. You can pause the screen so you can look at my settings for it. It's a very, very, very nice template for it. So yeah, a gift from me to you. There you go. Color correctors. Well, I don't really use color correctors on my text because it either makes them light or just not pretty, if you know what I mean. But I really recommend playing with the bump map. Some people like to use the spotlight up too. It's a nice one. I will not lie to you guys. It's a nice one. But my favorite really is the spot first Laha. It's French, I guess. I'm not really into French. Yeah. Then you go into the media generator app. You see the two things over here. You see credit roll and you see titles and text. Credit roll is if you want to make like a movie, a credit roll, you know what I mean. It really is a template. So if you put it into your program, into your file, you just have to fill in the things and it will roll out itself. It really isn't a nice way to do it because, well, you don't have, it's not your thing, you know, you haven't created it, it's created for you. So I don't really like to use it. I just created my own things. In my Gintama tribute you see a sort of credit roll, but I made it one myself too because, yeah, I just didn't like using this one. And if you go into titles and text, you can see text with a lot of, yeah, stuff going on, if you know what I mean. So you can see bounce or action, flip. It can be nice, but it can also be over the top, if you know what I mean. The float and pop, that I really like that one. I don't use it, but I like it, you know. It's a bit like the McDonald's ice cream, the McFlurry one. There's a lot of flavors I like, but I don't get them. That was it for the text. If any one of you have some other questions about the text, sorry, I have a lot of energy. If you any of you have some other questions about the text, just put them in the comments. I will look at them, I will answer them. You can reach me to Twitter. So yeah, hope you guys learned from this, and the World of Lapar out.